Damn, Daniel, back at it again on the podium. This time at a T100 race here in London. How's it feel?
I don't really think I can describe it. It feels amazing to be back at something you can actually call a performance, and just, yeah, really being injury free. And you know, I didn't expect this at all. I was like, my coach is here and Mitch is here, and Mitch is a part of the actual coaching staff, to be honest. But we were sitting this morning and talking about a top 10. That would be great.
Wow.
Top 5, that would be a dream. So being on the podium, I'm not really sure what you actually call that. So it's, you know, basically coming from not being able to walk after Singapore and then to this is rather emotional, I'd say, because you know it's a long, you know, process of doing small things right and actually believing in every step you take. So it's a lot of emotions, and it's a lot of thoughts, a lot of, you know, looking back at things where, you know, times where it was only me doing the run sessions, and you know, when it's not fun to do sessions where every step hurts, and you know, my light in the end of the tunnel was like getting back to a level where I could compete in the T100, and I did not expect at all that day would come today, but here we are. So it's, you know, it's a lot of things that is just a lot of emotions, a lot of sensations, and popping in my head once, you know, all together.
We saw after the finish line that you're a bit lost for words, and even now it seems like you're kind of struggling to put into words the emotion that you are feeling and talking about. Can you try and take me inside that a little bit more, like through the hardship and why this podium means so much to you, both probably as a triathlete but also as a person? Because
this morning I was actually saying to my coach, like, I'm not sure I actually belong here. And you know, when you have a 6th in Miami and a DNF in Singapore, it was like it hits your self-confidence and all that stuff. Luckily, I had a good experience in Roth a couple of weeks ago. Even though I crashed out, I still felt like, you know, the steps we've made so far, actually, that was in the right direction. So that gave me a little bit of belief that I, at like maybe Ibiza or the last 2 races, I would be able to be on a point where I could actually compete. But for that to happen already now that's just, yeah, that's really nice, obviously, and also I think that's the part I can't really believe. Yeah. Ask me another question. I am lost for words. Like,
yeah, it's awesome. It's actually, I was getting a little bit tired and grumpy. It's been a long weekend. They're long days here at the T100. The races are incredibly draining. They're such high level and high energy, and I don't know, I've sort of forgotten all about it. Just hearing about what it means to you, it's actually, yeah, it's incredible to sit here and listen to you talk, mate. And I'm so happy for you.
I think one thing is actually the fact that, you know, you come from a middle and long distance for a long time have been less competitive in terms of a lot of races. So people would spread out on doing all the races and then meet a couple of times a year at the World Championships. Mm-hmm. Here we have a series, and also we have a series where you have to be at your freaking A game every time just to be in contention for a top 10. And a result can actually, like a 5th place or a 10th place can actually be a really, really good result. Where before you would like probably win 5 or 6 times during the year, and like that would give you self-confidence and and all that stuff. And I think that's the feeling I kind of just. It takes some getting used to, and you see the Formula One, it's the same.
Yeah.
A lot of other sports where the level is that high, it's the same. We've just never had that in triathlon, and we have that now. And it actually takes some getting used to, because when you've been injured for some time, or you've made some bad decisions, or you overtrained, or whatever could happen. Like it's a very steep learning curve we have to like accustom to, and I think that's one thing, especially training with Kyle, helped me realize that even though I only had like I think 4 weeks of actual training before he came, I actually had a decent level, and I have some tools that can, bring me to a solid performance at the T100. I didn't believe that I would be that close to him now, but yeah.
I want to talk about the race a little bit more in a little bit more detail. I thought you had a really good swim, like you always do. You put yourself in a great position, didn't see the front of the race, hit away in the group, came into T2, and again, kind of did the same thing on the bike, hit away, stayed in the perfect position, played a really smart game, obviously had the unfortunate mechanical at the back end of the bike, came into T2, and then had one of the great runs of your career, really. It was amazing. You had third place locked away pretty early on, and then for you it was no one from behind was going to catch you. You probably weren't going to catch up to Sam and Kyle. Can you talk me through that run and your day out on course?
Yeah, I think I actually had a horrible start to the swim. I was pretty far down. I felt that immediately. It was like the left side of the pontoon actually had a better current or whatever. Or maybe just went out quicker than we did. So I think I was quite far down around the first couple of buoys, but then I think one thing I really learned, I've learned over the years, is like staying calm in those situations and just work with whatever you have. So I was like just trying to kind of make my way through the pack, and I don't know where I came out, but it was, I felt like it was quite like far up the pack. Came out on the bike, and then it was just like this kind of type of racing. You just have to make decisions quick, and I was like, I wanted to be in the front of the race all day just to experience how that feels and see where I am. Basically because I don't know where I am compared to the other guys. So I tried to stay in like top 5 or top 6 for as long as possible. And then it was basically just focusing on like taking in the nutrition and obviously hope for no mechanics. I dropped the chain on the last lap, basically going out on the last lap, and that was just like, at the moment it was like that's the one thing that shouldn't happen. Like, but at the same time I was like, I just gotta figure out how to make the best out of the situation, like on the swim. So I got off the bike, fixed the chain, and you're shaking in that moment because it's like adrenaline and everything happening. So I was just trying to like breathe and put the chain on, get on the bike, and then catch up as much time as possible without like really searching, because I didn't want to burn too many matches. Got to a transition, and then the run is always you against yourself. Basically, you have to pace it right, because the swim and the bike is such a hard like effort in these races. So you might feel decent going out on the run, but you know the last like 6Ks can be freaking brutal, and I've experienced that before. So I was like trying to break it up into small pieces. So I said like, okay, it's 3 kilometers, that's around 10 minutes. So it's basically just 3 times 10 minutes at a decent effort. And then 3 times 10 minutes where I just push it a little bit. So the first 3 times 10 minutes were kind of easy, and I'm not sure I even split it, negative split, but it helped me a lot to like just get on with it. And then obviously you always have hopes of like the guys up front will burn their matches and stuff, and that didn't happen. But you know, Sam and Carl just did a great job, and you know, I didn't really focus on those guys too much. I tried to just soak everything in and be in the moment, focusing on all the small technical details I do in a daily training. So and that seemed to work. When I can be in that like state of mind, it usually works pretty well. So that was just, I think that it was a very good run in terms of also keeping calm. And then, you know, starting out the run with Magnus, he showed incredible sportsmanship, handing me cups of water and ice, and like, because I guess after his insane race in Roth, he was like, he probably didn't feel the legs were there today, and I think that just shows how great of not only a guy he is, but also sportsmanship is another level. I think that was that gave me a lot of like confidence to actually also do it for the nation of Denmark, because he kind of in some way tapped out and then said like, it's on you, mate. And I think that was pretty cool. Yeah, then I got to the finish line, and I can't really remember a lot from there, but it was a great feeling. Yeah,
amazing. Just quickly want to touch on that training camp that you brought up with Kyle Smith. You're also there with Rico Bogan, who finished 6th, and Magic Fred XX, who finished 5th. An amazing performance from the team. I spoke to Kyle about it, but just wanted to get your perspective on it as well.
I think actually the training camp was a lot about perspective. It was just great to train with a bunch of guys who are like top-notch quality, and just having fun. In daily training. It was so easy to get the sessions done, and I really learned what I actually need in my life to not only enjoy training but also obviously get better. You know, it's a great bunch of guys. So not only in sessions, like we have that kind of rivalry and camaraderie where we can push each other in sessions, but also obviously when we train that amount of hours, sometimes you have a day where you're not feeling great and stuff, and still being able to help each other through those days that's pretty key, because when you're alone, I've trained a lot alone the last couple of years, and I can be really hard on myself on those days, and so having guys around you who are world class, actually showing that they also have bad days and how they cope with it, and kind of I think that was the biggest thing for me to experience. And as you said, you saw it on the result today. It's not only me who benefited from that stuff. So it was that was just great. A
couple of days holiday for you now in Italy, I believe, and then all eyes on Ibiza?
All eyes on Ibiza. That's where we go, and then we see if we can have a canyon sweep of the podium again in Ibiza. That would be nice.
Daniel Baekkegard, 3rd place here today at T100 London. Well done, brother.
Thanks a lot, mate.